Hey folks, David Frost, LazyGapTrader.com. In this video, we're going to be talking about gap fill trades. Gap trading is the single most profitable and best day trading strategy available in the market today. In my course at LazyGapTrader.com, I teach two specific strategies. The morning gap trades, where we're able to identify levels. When a stock is gapping up or down at the open, we're able to identify levels where we're likely to see a price reaction in the other direction. That's the first strategy I teach. In the second strategy, I teach the gap fill strategy, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Each and every day, I like to try and identify anywhere from 3 to 5 gap fill trades that I can take advantage of during the trading day. This is where a stock generally will come back to fill a gap left open by virtue of the stock gapping up or down from a prior day's trading activity. When a stock comes back to fill a gap, it most likely has a price reaction at that gap level. That's called a gap fill trade. That's the second strategy I teach in my course. Both these strategies put together is an opportunity to take advantage of the total gap trading strategy, which again is the single most profitable and biggest money-making opportunity in the day trading sphere of the market today. So let's take a look at the first one here, which is CyberArk, CYBR. And as you can see here, the trend line running across the screen is at $42.18. That happened to be left open by yesterday's opening price, which is the gap, and today the stock gapped down and then immediately rushed back to fill that gap. And you can see here that the stock made a high of 42.27, and that would be well within the stop loss limitation that I teach in the course. And from that, the stock pulled back and went lower, and it was an easy dollar trade in profit on CyberArk today. In my course, I teach the stocks to look for, what characteristics we like to trade, what specifically are the best opportunities for these gap fill trades. And I teach this in my course in the second half in the gap fill strategy section. My course is a video-based course comprised of about 17 videos that teach the gap fill trades and the morning gap trades. I teach everything you need to know in order to execute these strategies, enabling you to profit each and every day. So even if we drill down a little further and look at a 10-minute chart, you can see here how CyberArk in the first 10-minute candle of the day, which is right here at an opening price of 41.66, immediately rushed up to fill the gap from yesterday and then reversed lower, put in a reversal candle and continued lower, making a low of $40.89. You may or may not have gotten all of that trade, but once again in my course, I teach how to maximize these trades. There's a whole video section on how to maximize the trades and how to take some profit and trail your stop and how to execute the trade properly in order to maximize our profit. Let's take a look at another gap fill trade from today, which is Sarepta Therapeutics. And Sarepta Therapeutics, and let's go back to the 60-minute chart. And I teach how you can use various different time frames, whether it's a shorter time frame, an hourly chart, even a daily chart. This works on all different time frames. But you can see here that this gap level was at $19.61. That's the trend line running across the screen. That's by virtue of the opening price of $19.61 on the 20th of April. In my course, I teach exactly how to read this data and what you're looking for. As you can see, today the stock came back up to fill that gap, only piercing through it by a few pennies, making a high of $19.84, again well within the recommended stop loss limitation. And as you can see, just a short time later, the stock was down all the way at $17.65. Now let me get that on the screen. It was off the screen before. So here, $17.65 was the low of the day, and you could have gotten a big chunk of that gain. That's almost a $2 gain on a less than $20 stock. It was roughly an 11% gain, maximum gain that is. Not suggesting that everybody would have gotten the total profit of $2 or close to it on that trade, but even if you got 50% of that, that's a 5% gain in just a matter of a few hours in one stock in one day. This is a strategy I teach in my course. I teach you how to do this. I teach you how to turn a trade like this, once you're in the money, into a risk-free, emotionless trade. And that's a whole video module in my course. Let's take a look at one more from today, which is Royal Gold. Now, Royal Gold was another gap fill trade today. And as you can see, here was the gap level left open on the 28th of April at $60.22. Okay, that's the closing price on the 28th of April. In my course, I teach precisely why that number is important. As you can see, the stock traded above it, and today came down, pierced through that level midday today, making a low of $59.90, again, well within the recommended stop loss limitation, and I teach exactly how to calculate that and what that is in the course. And then just a couple of hours later, you can see here that the stock made a high of $60.95, and in the next candle, it was $61.05, up in this range here. So you can see here that we would have gotten anywhere from 50, 60, 70, 80 cents in a matter of a couple of hours, one stock, one day. I showed you 3 trades that were available today for those of you that understand the gap fill strategy. Come over, take my course, lazygaptrader.com. I teach you exactly how to utilize this strategy to your advantage, and I also teach you the morning gap trades, which I have several videos on this channel. You're more than welcome to watch them. These 2 strategies is a license to print money put together. I'm David Frost, lazygaptrader.com. Come over, take my course. It's an absolute license to understand the best money-making day trading strategy available in the market today, gap trading. Thanks for tuning in, folks.